Hi, my name is Micha and I'm a member of Zenobox team. Today I would like to introduce to you a cool new gadget that we call Zenobox. The purpose of this gadget is to help you quickly and painlessly develop Internet of Things applications. It allows you to connect all kinds of sensors and electronics to Internet. To show you just how easy it is, I'm going to make a small demo for you. Okay, to begin with, we're going to connect this Onewire sensor to Zenobox, and then we're going to show its reading on LCD display. I have already wired display to the Zenobox, and next we're going to wire in a DS1820, a well-known one-wire temperature sensor. So in order to do this, we're going to use this board. We're going to plug in sensor like this, and then we're going to wire in first power. Power goes to 3.3 volt socket. The sensor can also tolerate 5 volts, but since the board is essentially 3.3 volts, we're going to use 3.3. And next we need some ground, like this. Ground. Okay, so sensor is now powered. We also need one 4.7 kilo ohm resistor as a pull-up, and finally we need to wire in data. So the data we're going to connect to socket 9, port 9. This is here. So I'm going to wire this in now. Okay, and our temperature sensor is now connected. It's pretty rudimentary, but it's going to do. Now we have to write a program. Arguably the best part of Zenobox is its visual editor that we are using in order to program Zenobox functionality. So I'm now going to show you how this can be done. Zenobox application essentially is running in a browser. That's why it's platform independent. It can run anywhere. All you need to do is the internet, and of course later on an SD card where you're going to download the configuration files. So let's open a window, type in app.zenobox.com, it's already here, and then we can log in with our username and password. You can visit www.zenobox.com in order to get your own account. Next, we're going to create a new project. We're going to call that temperature meter. And we're going to create a view called temperature. And save this. When enter temperature meter, so this is the editor board, and here we are going to visually write our program without the need to actually writing much code. So we're going to put first the start element. The program always begins with a start element, and we call that beginning. And we save. Next, we want to first of all measure the temperature. So we are going to place on the board a one-wire component like this. So we are going to call this component DS1820. This is the name of the sensor that we are using. Our sensor is going to be connected, already connected, to the socket 9 and the pin 9. Save. Now, Onewire sensors are a little bit complicated. They need some kind of command sequence in order to run. So at this point we still do not have a DS1820 sensor component, so we have to write our command by ourselves. So this might seem a bit tricky, but in fact it's quite manageable. First we reset sensor, then we instruct our sensor to read some temperature. We wait a little bit so the temperature is read. We reset sensor one more time. We instruct our sensor to output the temperature it just captured. And finally we read some data. Like this. This is our command sequence that we save. And of course we connect our start element to the sensor. So with this already that temperature is read to the Zenobox. So Zenobox will know what the temperature is. Unfortunately we don't know the temperature yet, so we have to do a little bit more magic. First of all we need a script element. The problem is that the temperature sensor is going to read the temperature but not in human readable format. So in order to convert that temperature we need a script element. So we'll call this one temperature, temp as a temperature, and we're going to write a simple script. We're going to call result is DS180 element 0, and we're going to divide it by 2. This is necessary because DS1820 reads temperature in 0.5 degrees format, so we have to divide it by 2 in order to get a full degrees. So we save this one, and next we want to show this temperature to display, so we need a display element. Where is it? It's hiding somewhere. Ah, here it is. We need a display element, we wire it here. We call this LCD, it's wired to socket 7. And text to print, temperature, and the name of the script element which outputs the real temperature that we want to display. So we print text, we do not need backlight, yeah, we clear it before print, and the cursor is set to home. We save this one too. Finally, we do not want this loop to repeat too many times, so we have to have some short delay. We're going to make 1 second delay. We're going to use a sleep element. We're going to wire this one in. 1 second delay, and we're going to set delay to 1000 milliseconds. We're going to save all this, and then we're going to wire the loop back to the beginning so the loop can repeat one more time. We save all this. Next, it is important to verify. If we made some mistake, the program is not going to run as expected. So we have here a verify button that does this for us. Nothing is read, which means all is good. Next, we export the configuration to our disk, like this. Save it to a zip file on a local disk. And next we take SD card, place SD card to a little reader, plug it to computer and transfer our configuration file to our SD card, like this. So we now have a configuration file written on that SD card. I'm going to now put this SD card in. I'm going to borrow some power from my computer and plug in this USB cable. Now we have to wait a bit. Here we go. Temperature 23 degrees. And if I touch the sensor, okay, we have 26, 27, and so forth. And that's it. So, it was pretty easy, right? That would conclude the first tutorial on Zenobox. Thank you very much for watching.